Hello, people. Welcome to Tabor Talk. Sorry, the song came in midway, kind of. So I'm not going to be able to keep the song. That's a shame. I love it. Michael Hedges. It is copyrighted, so I'm coming up with my own theme song. We'll see. And by the way, I have my new logo. Working on it, actually. It's not completed. After I fade out, I'll show it to you. I wanted to have the logo and the song playing, but I'm not there yet. I'm going to have to physically show you my phone. Okay. Welcome to Tabor Talk, people. Okay, fade out. And here, let me show you my logo, and then I'll get into what I want to say today. And here it is. Okay. Okay. You see that? Tabor Talk. To play on Table Talk. I don't have to explain. That ruins it when I explain. Okay. And then here we are. Going more, I have this as well. Welcome to Tabor Talk, people. Nice day. Summer's almost over. So, listening to my guy, yesterday I did a podcast on my favorite podcasts. I have 6 of them. One of the great podcasts, I believe there are 6 important podcasts. There are more for sure, but the 6 I listen to, Joe Rogan, Eric Weinstein, Sam Harris, Sean Carroll, Very Bad Wizards, and Tim Ferriss. Those are mine. And if you want to stay informed, stay smart, those are the podcasts I recommend. I listen to them all. Every episode. Every single episode. And there are a lot of them. And they're long. Some could go 2, 3, 4 hours. Sometimes even 6. Joe Rogan did a 6-hour podcast with Alex Jones. It was crazy. I listened to the whole thing. It was hilarious. And funny as hell. Alex Jones is a character. He's nuts. Completely nuts. And I don't agree with most of his stuff is way out there. But he's not as bad as he is fucked up. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to talk about Alex Jones. But maybe interesting what I'm going to talk about. So Joe Rogan is interviewing Cedric Bundy. He's the Glory Kickboxing Heavyweight Champion of the world. Is it heavyweight? I don't know. Yeah, I believe it's Heavyweight Champion of the world. Maybe light heavyweight. But anyway, he's a badass. He's a killer. He's only 26 years old, I believe. And he was trying to break into the UFC. So kickboxing, he's training his ground, he's getting his ground game down. Then he's doing jiu-jitsu and all that to try to, you need to be a well-rounded person, not just striking. His stand-up is amazing, but he's got to work on his ground game. So anyway, Joe was talking about growing up and how he got into it, and Cedric Bundy says, my mother forbid me to fight. She didn't like it, and she was scared. And today, his mom is his #1 fan. And then she showed, I don't have the clip here, but Cedric showed like his mother at the fights, and she's jumping around, and my son. And then what's interesting is Joe Rogan said, that must be crazy. Your mother is your #1 fan. Just think that she gave birth to you. You were in her stomach 26 years ago, and then now you're the champion of the world, and her son kicks the shit out of everyone. Her son is the champion of the world. Her son is the toughest man on planet Earth. What must that feel like? So again, getting good transition segue into what must it be like for a mom to give birth to anyone? Like what if your son is like, can you imagine someone who changed the world? Like someone who invented penicillin, or the son of Einstein, or any great man. Like how about recently, the son of Steve Jobs, right? Anyone, the son of Mrs. Zuckerberg, like things that have changed the world. Now how about, I was thinking about, you think about the bad thing. What if you gave birth to Ted Bundy? Ted Bundy, the savage serial killer. I think no one really knows for sure how many people he raped and murdered, how many women. One as young as 13 years old. Savagely raped, murdered, and then sometimes would come back later and mutilate the body and have intercourse with a corpse. I mean, one of the worst monsters. And at the end, his mother was in denial. Mrs. Bundy, there was actually a book about it, a documentary and a movie. His mother supported, Ted Bundy's mother supported him right to the end and didn't believe it. How could you? One of the most savage monsters ever to live. What must it be like that Mrs. Bundy had this monster in her belly, gave birth to this fucking sick, savage murderer. His last victim was 13 years old. He followed her at school. He tracked her down, abducted her, savagely raped her, and murdered her. Stabbed her, bit her. That's how he got me. Bit her, and then left her for dead. I mean, just imagine that your son did that to someone. So, anyway, food for thought. What must it be like to be a mother of anyone, not just a savage serial killer, a heavyweight champion, the mother of a social media giant, the mother of a Bill Gates? What must it be like? Really interesting thing to think about. That's why I love Joe Rogan. Okay, let me fade out. I don't think I'll be able to have the song for a long period, for much longer, but here we go. And with the great Michael Hedges. This is a pain in the butt here, my having to do this on the phone. I don't have anybody with me. I have this. My phone, that's it. I have my iPad, my phone. I don't have an engineer here. I don't have a partner. I don't have a teleprompter. Nothing. Totally unscripted, spontaneous, and I'm by myself. I hope you enjoy this, people. Tabor Talk.